My name's Malachi, and I'm a young genius, a genie in myself. What we did today, we defined functions in a game, basically, with hardware and software.
This exercise here really does a good job at mirroring what it's like to develop. Like, it oftentimes takes multiple people because we think about a program, we have an intention for it, but there's certain pieces that we might like overlook and all that kind of stuff. So this process that we do here, where we like walk through it, we call that debugging. Hi, I'm Jonathan Johnson. I'm teaching the aspect of the class focused on game development, software development. Today went really well. We introduced some new concepts, so kind of continuing from some of the concepts that Mujali introduced around taking a large problem and breaking it down into simpler, more manageable problems. We did that in software development by introducing a concept called functions and subroutines. And with subroutines, you take your large program and you break it down into simpler programs and use the simpler programs to compose the larger program. So your computer, the person, their objective is to pick up this gold coin. This is how you win. And we use instructions like move forward and turn clockwise to advance the player through the board onto the coin. And once the player reaches the coin, they win. This teaches the kids simple software development skills, and we started on this last week in the open house, and we continued on it this week and with the focus on subroutines and functions. Malachi had the idea of breaking it down into a series of diagonal moves, and from that we figured out that if we define the diagonal moves in our function F0 or F1, then we can just chain them together until we got really close to this and use our diagonal moves to simplify our route to this coin.
I'm Naftali, and I'm a young genius. I'm homeschooled and I'm 11 years old. We did the hardware and software thing, and we also we're defining detail while drawing.
Software development, just like art, is a good way to reinforce some of the skills associated with breaking down large problems into simpler ones and ultimately getting to your goals. So hardware is the physical components that run the software. So hardware are the tools used by the software to get the job done, but the two work together in order to...
Next week, if we work on this again, can we make like more than one function?
We're kind of like finding inspiration, sketching and rough drafts, and learning about storyboard, translating it. They can see it and they want to do it, but for some reason it's not connecting. So that's what we're gonna pay attention to, those little details, even the simple drawings. That way it's gonna make you, at the end of the day, you guys are gonna become great artists because you're gonna be able to pay attention to details. That's probably one of the biggest things that like separates like average artists from really great artists, is attention to detail. So that's kind of one thing that we'll start working on. So we're going to keep it simple today. I think it was a good day one. We had a really good day in terms of the kids. Got the concepts that I wanted them to get. So one of them was fundamentals. Another one was like patience, and paying attention to detail and just knowing the breakdown of things. So like one example we did is shapes. So a couple kids were having trouble like creating a certain like object. So I told them like look at it and like what shapes do you see in the objects. In some objects they saw triangles put together with rectangles, and once they were able to break it down, then they were able to create the shape through a couple of steps. Even heroes need help too. No matter how strong you are, you still need help. Okay, so it's creating paintings through drawing and art, superhero theme. Cool. So we had them break down heroes and then versus superhero. I asked them like what's a hero in their life, so I kind of had them like analyze that. And a hero is somebody that has to overcome obstacles. A hero is not always somebody that's super strong right off top. A hero is somebody that like has a weakness and they overcome that weakness and for the greater good. And a hero is usually like selfless in terms of like they're fighting for either a greater good. It's not about themselves, but it's about something bigger. So with the kids kind of getting that concept in their heads and ingrained, I think that it'll give them chances to become a hero, you know, and that's what the whole thing is about, is making them heroes or helping them to see what heroes are in the community, not